Hey everybody, welcome to another Solo Sunday. I'm Jessica with Pencil First Games, and today we are going to be playing through the 100 Torii, which is a beautiful game by Scott Caputo and Eduardo Baraf with artwork by Vincent Dutray. We are currently having a wonderful time with my Wi-Fi, which seems to be slightly laggy, but we will get through this. We're going to be checking out the solo mode for this great game, where we're going to be traveling through a Japanese garden and playing against Onatsu, the pilgrim, who is a really tricky solo opponent, but it's really interesting just to see how that works. So I'm here to teach and play. If you have your own copy, feel free to join and play along. It's very fun. We'll see who does better. It's a challenging game. And we are also potentially going to take a look at an upcoming expansion, the 100 Torii Diverging Paths, which is exciting. So we're going to see that a little bit and hope that this lag goes away. It was fine before, and I guess Sundays are just not a day for my Wi-Fi to want to work all the time. So let's swap this out here and see if it will cooperate. Always having fun with technology. Worst case, I will make it work and we will get through this and travel through this garden. So I have it kind of set up. At the moment, I have our kind of some nice artwork on display. I usually play, oddly enough, with the box kind of facing up towards me. We never see that, but it's a thing that I actually tracked back to when I was a little kid, I think. I would just put the box in front of me, so that's how I play. So we're going to put that off to the side for now. This is where we're going to be traveling. Once again, welcome to everybody stopping by right now. And again, apologies for the lag. I am going to try to make it work. We will find a way and we will get through this garden. But what is the 100 Torii all about? So we are going to be building a garden here. I have our start tile, and we're going to have all these other tiles are going to come out. I'm going to be creating paths, and we have different landmarks that we can check out. And let's slowly get this so we can kind of, I know, once again, it's laggy, it's terrible. I blame myself, but here's all the different types of landmarks that we're going to see in the game. If this wants to kind of ease up there, you'll see there's a bridge, there's the fox statue, there's a fountain, there's lotus, there's a stone, and there's a lantern. And we're going to be branching off from this starting tile and creating paths and going through different Torii gates, collecting tokens. But at the same time, it's not just about building out this garden, it's managing Onatsu. And she's going to be collecting other tiles. She'll have her own collection because she is a seasoned traveler. She knows these gardens. She's been there, and it's a big challenge to kind of manage what is she collecting and how are we traveling through this garden. And Edo is here. Hello, Ed. We are going to see how I do against Onatsu. So the multiplayer game is its own animal. Solo doesn't change a lot. It introduces the solo opponent, but the same concepts are there in that we're building out this garden, looking for those sites, checking out those landmarks, collecting all of these different tokens. I have my crazy little token display here where everything is kind of just, it makes it easier for me. We all have our own ways of playing and setting up our play areas, so that's where I am with that. But we're going to be collecting all these different tokens. So we have little individual ones. And again, I'm trying to deal with the lag. We're going to get through it. But just to kind of give you an idea, these beautiful, again, artwork by Vincent Dutray, these lovely little tokens we're going to be collecting. And those can kind of be used to hire some characters that we might find along the way, like the vendor, the samurai, there's a gardener, and these characters give us special abilities that we can do so we can change what's going on in the garden. We can put a poet out there who is actually going to block a landmark. I like to think of that as the poet taking a moment to be like, excuse me, I need to write about this, so move along. So we have characters that we can hire. We're going to also be trying to collect these large tokens. Those ones we get to keep, and those count for points at the end of the game. There are also these cool goals that we're going against Onatsu for. So we're trying to get, what is this? One of each of the 6 different large landmark tokens. We'll get 5 points if we can get that first. And we're looking for getting 3 landmark tokens at 10. And if we can do that, that's 5 points. But Onatsu is not just sitting over here doing absolutely nothing. We're going to be building the garden, and she is going to be collecting the tiles. So when I draw them, which we'll get into very quickly, because I'm not going to sit here forever explaining what we're doing, you're going to see that I get to choose one. I should say I draw 3. Of those 3, I'm going to choose 1. That's going in the garden that I'm going to be managing. But Onatsu is going to get to keep 2 of those. And those go in the different columns here, which I actually can lift up this board because this is a really great board. I like it because it has every piece of information I could possibly need for the solo mode on it, which is nice. It's like a solo reference card, but it kind of goes through everything. So there's a space for everything. We'll kind of go through this and see, how this works as we get into it. But there's reminders about how everything works. There's reminders about a couple of the different characters that change a little bit in solo mode. Not too much, though. And then my personal favorite is way over on the right side. We can actually control the difficulty level, and I like the icons here. So the easy one is a frog, so we start with 2 coins. Intermediate is a rabbit with 1 coin and an eagle for extra difficulty. No coins to start with. And coins are just going to kind of give us a boost to hiring those different characters. And real quick, it also comes with this really handy reference board. Note again that there's a couple of changes with the solo, but this kind of gives you a great overview of what's going on. So we have also at the top, if there's a red Torii, that kind of tells us what goes on. If it's a blue Torii that we travel through. And I think actually showing the examples will make more sense. But just great artwork. It's beautiful. And I have talked enough. So why don't we dive in and get started? I am going to leave this here for now. Same with the tokens. I'm going to kind of push things away as we get more into this with the different areas, with building up the garden. If you're familiar with Carcassonne or other tile layers, you have your starting area and you don't know exactly how this might work. So we might be moving this over, moving it up. I will keep an eye on that and hope that it stays in view. But as we dive into this, feel free to ask questions, leave comments. I am here to chat and teach and just have a good time and hopefully beat Onatsu. Oh, and one more component, because I get excited about components. We actually have a couple of meeples that are going to be going out there. So the pink one is the samurai and the blue one is the poet. So these can actually go out in the garden and kind of do different things. And we'll see how that works as we go through. But they are just really cool, really nice. We see them on there. Alrighty, so let's get started. And if we want to reference the solo Onatsu board, that kind of gives us just kind of a baseline for what we're doing. So turn number 1, here we go. We're going to beat Onatsu. And I have these in 2 piles. I'll kind of leave them here, but I'm going to start here and go over to the left. I'm just drawing from 1 pile. It's just, this is safer for me. The number of times that I knock over piles of components, I don't know. We'll see. I still might be able to do it here, but let's get started. So again, apologies for the lag. I'm going to work with it and hope that the Wi-Fi wants to be like, ooh, 100 Torii, I want to work for you today. So basically, here's our 3 starting tiles that I've drawn. I get to keep 1 of these and 2 go to Onatsu. So again, we'll see how that kind of plays out with her collecting different tokens. There's actually an interesting strategy here where if she gets enough tokens of one type, she can't collect tiles that have that landmark. So there's actually an interesting blocking mechanism if we can get there. Theoretically, I say I can get there. But the other thing that we got to keep in mind are those Tories. So you'll see in the middle tile here, there is a lovely blue Torii. Now for us, that's going to help us with gaining more tokens as we build paths. But Onatsu has some interesting abilities. So if she gets a tile with a blue Torii, I have to discard 2 tokens. So blue Torii, not so good to give to Onatsu. And then with the red Torii, I'm just referencing the solo board here to make sure I, explain things properly. She's actually going to get a +4 points for that character for that column, which we'll see happen. Or maybe not if I get lucky and, actually manage this. So with that said, I do start off with those 2 coins for being easy mode. Oh, and here we go with I'm moving all over the place here. There we go. So if I gave her this middle tile, she's going to steal both my coins and I can't hire a character. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to say, look, I'm keeping this and I'm going to place that in the garden. You're going to get these in a moment, Onatsu. Let me take my turn because I get to place in the garden here. So when I'm going in the garden, I'm trying to build paths and I'm connecting each of these icons via the shortest path. So again, it kind of makes more sense once we kind of dive in and play. So what I see here though is I could start collecting a couple of tiles by kind of closing off a few areas, or I could kind of start building a path here with this Torii. And I'm going to say I'm going to do that. I'm going to place that over here. So I haven't completed anything. There's no actual landmark on here. So I'm not collecting any tokens, but I'm setting myself up for a potentially more tokens. We'll hope so. But that is my part of the turn. Meanwhile, I'm going to move the rule book off to the side. Onatsu gets both of these tiles. So where do they go? So the nice part about these is each of these only has 1 landmark on each of those. You can see we have the lantern on the left and lotus on the right. That makes it easy. I know where to put those. She's going to get each of those in the corresponding column. So here is the lantern column and the lotus column. It doesn't matter the orientation of these. I'm not trying to create a map over there or connect paths. She's just collecting those. And she's going to be collecting the large tokens based on what she gets. Right now, it's nothing, which is good. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Onatsu here. That's my first turn. So let's go into the next turn. Again, drawing 3 tiles. And let's take a look at what I am looking at. Ooh. This is a not so great draw. So here's what I'm looking at when it comes into view. So you can see that 2 of these tiles have 2 Torii gates on them each, and that is rough times. Because what happens there is Onatsu actually gets to draw another tile and keep it if she gets any of those. Ooh. So I am thinking here, I definitely want to use one of these double Torii gate ones. Just trying to look here. And actually, I just wanted to confirm one thing in the rule book for myself because, it's important. Yes, okay. Just wanted to confirm. That's what I thought it was, but I was just looking at what the vendor can do here. I can return 1 tile of the 3 tiles to the bottom of the deck and draw 1 new tile. So I think that's what I want to do so that Onatsu does not get one of these lovely double Tories. But what do I want? I think I want to keep the one with the red and the blue. So we're going to say, I'm using a coin, discarding that. We'll just put it up here to hire the vendor. And I'm going to say, take this, put it at the very bottom, and let's hope for something better. Okay. No Tories on that one. Or no Torii, sorry. Torii and Torii are singular in plural. Alrighty. So that's going to go to Onatsu. This is good. And then I get to start placing this tile, or not start, I place this tile. So let's see. I'm trying to create an extra long path because you'll see when I score here, I'm going to get a ton of tokens if and only if I set it up correctly. But I'm going to continue here. So we're going to move these tokens out of the way a little bit. If they go off screen, they're still there. So this is what the garden's looking like so far. Once again, I did not score anything. I could be if I had kind of connected up some of the matching landmarks, but I don't want that yet. Big payday, possibly. So this is not the most ideal here. So what's going to happen with this tile, there is just a bridge on it. So we know that's going to go under the bridge, but don't forget, Blue Torii, I am going to lose 2 tokens if I have them. But the joke's on you, Onatsu. I only have 1, so it's all right. So let me just get that in place. That's going to go under the bridge column. That will steal my coin, but I have no other tokens, so it's okay. Onatsu, you're fine. And then this one has both that fox statue and the fountain on it, so I get to choose where that is going. And neither of those columns have anything in it, so I think I will put it in the fountain column, mostly because, I don't know, it looks a little more even. We'll keep them over there and pretend I'm making a path. So there we go. All right, so Onatsu, so far, we're doing all right. All right, next turn. 3 more tiles. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, that's going to be tough. It's another draw of double Tories. Double Torii. I can't get my plural. Plural, singular, pull it together. Okay. So I definitely know that Onatsu is going to be taking that one tile because it has no Torii on it. I do not want anything. Well, let me think here. She can't steal anything from me right now since I have no tokens. So she can take the double blue. I feel like this is the better option. She's getting nothing from me. So meanwhile, I am going to take this, and I wonder if we could. No, we'll keep meandering up this way. That works. Alrighty, and so Onatsu is going to get these 2. This one, once again, has no Torii on it, so a lovely stone and a lantern. So let's put that in the lantern column. And then we are going to, all right, so double Torii. Let's see what happens there. So Onatsu will take this. This has a fountain landmark on it. So we'll put that under the landmark, the fountain column right there. No tokens to steal, so at least that is working out for me. But that has 2 Torii on it, so Onatsu gets to draw the next tile and keep it. Oh, Onatsu. All right, so this is a good example because I've drawn another tile with 2 more Torii, and you might say, oh no, does that mean she gets to keep drawing? No, Onatsu can only get 1 extra tile during a turn. However, we are playing on easy mode. If I was playing intermediate or expert, we would then resolve the effects of these 2 red Torii, which would mean she'd be collecting 2 character tokens. So I am thankful that we are in easy mode right now. That's the Lotus. So there's where Onatsu will be keeping that one. I still have nothing going for me, and I have forgotten to give her, so Onatsu at this point has 2 landmarks in these 3 columns, so she should have the 5s, and I apologize for not putting those out, but Onatsu has earned a 5 point here, a 5 point for the lantern, and also the 5 point for the Lotus. So Onatsu is definitely doing well. I'm coming from behind though. I have it. It's all right. It's all good. All right. So we've resolved Onatsu's turn. Here we go. I've set myself up for success here, I think. So here's our next draw of 3 tiles. All right. And the good news here, all righty, is that there's only one with a Torii. So you can see there's just one blue Torii there. So I could take that and actually score it because there's a stone. That would be a good one. And then she'd be getting the fox statue, and then that could go, I could give you that. Okay, I've got it. I've got my move. I'm keeping this, and Onatsu's going to be getting those 2 tiles. So here we go with a good scoring example. So I am going to place this tile right here, and at long last, on my actual path, there is a connecting path back. So what we see here, and it might be a little bit tricky to see, I know at this distance, but there's a stone landmark up here. And I can actually travel down this path and get back to the starting tile and connect back to that other stone. So what do I get? This is an exciting time because I set myself up and it took a while, but I got there. So what happens? So first of all, I connected stone. I'm going to get 1 stone token just to indicate that is where I am. That was the landmark that I scored here. And then if we follow back along here, you can see there are 3 blue Torii and 3 red Torii. So for the red Torii, I get to earn, tokens of the same type. So I get an additional 3 stone tokens. And then the blue means that I can get any landmark tokens I want except the one that I scored. So I can get any combination of other tokens, just not stones. Stones would have been great here because I could have gotten that 5-point one, but that's all right. We can start moving towards another type. So the question is, do I want to mix or do I want to kind of aim towards a certain type? And there's no benefit to any of this. There's no specific ones on this path that I would be, if there was a landmark here of a certain type, I probably wouldn't want to grab that, or would I? Strategy, decisions, and talk and nonsense. Well, I think what I'm going to go with is I would like to go with the bridges. So again, there's 3 blue Torii. I want 3 bridges. Now, I could have also done 1 bridge, 1 fountain, and 1 lantern if I wanted to, but there's where I am right now. So I may be well behind Onatsu at this point, but I'm catching up in my mind. Is it true? I don't know. Let's just move these a little bit. So Onatsu is now going to claim these. So this one has that lovely fox statue on there. And that is going to go over here under this column. Because again, that's the only landmark on it. And then we have this tile, which has both a bridge and a lantern on it. So I get to decide where that goes because none of those columns are filled yet. I am actually going to go and put it in the lantern column. And we'll see if that pans out for me. But there were no, did I not? No, we didn't have to resolve that. Okay. There were no Torii on any of those tiles, so there's nothing that Onatsu gains extra. She's still well ahead of me. But here we go. All right, next turn. We're going to take the next 3 tiles and take a look at what we have there. All right. So let's see if we can get these in view. And again, for anybody joining, welcome and apologies for any lag. My Wi-Fi just couldn't handle all the beauty of a Japanese garden today. So we're looking at 2 tiles that have blue Torii and 1 that does not. So I think immediately I'm going to say Onatsu's going to claim that one. So of these 2 other ones, now I could use the vendor again. I could also use the poet, but I don't Do not need the poet to block a landmark right now. And ooh, the geisha. Nope. Nope. I don't know. Maybe I use the characters correctly. Maybe I don't. It's always a learning experience. So if I'm looking at both of these, I actually really like this one. And then do I want to risk? Nope. I'm gonna let Onatsu take that Torii tile there. We'll put it there. We'll put you there. Okay. I've got a plan. Vaguely. Here we go. Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna continue building. Does it matter if I go? We're gonna build our garden up this way. So I'm gonna place right up here. And that again travels back to that starting tile. And you'll notice that it gives you, there's an incentive here to kind of build that garden out as far as possible because you're trying to find the shortest path. So if I put this tile, for instance, over here, that's really not benefiting me that much because I'm not making that journey through all those torii and seeing all those landmarks along the way that I want to see. So we'll put that up here. And then, so there's a fox statue on this one that I just placed. We're going to travel and see that we can go all the way back to the starting tile, trace that path, and there's the next fox statue. So that was a pretty good one. So I will gladly score that or claim my tokens for that. So again, it's the fox statue, so I get one of those to indicate the type of path that I'm on. And then let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 blue torii and 3 red torii. So that's immediately going to get me 3 fox statues. And then I said, how many? There are 4 blue. So this is going to be an interesting one, right? So there's 4 of them. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. I want 1 stone. I'll kind of keep these on their own just to show you. 2 bridges. And then I can take 1 of anything else. Let's go with the lotus. Okay, so again, that's for 4, right? Double checking, yep. 4 blue torii. I'm taking these 4 tokens that I kind of laid out here. Again, those can be anything but the fox statue. Perfect. So what have I just done? So the fox statues and the lotus are just going to stay out here because, again, there's 4 fox and 1 lotus. Onatsu's going to have a little bit of a field day here, but that's all right. Because what do I have here? I have 5 bridge tokens. So immediately when I have 5 of those, I get to claim the big 5. It's 5 points, and it's a bridge over troubled waters. And then the same thing for the stones. I have 5 of those, so I'm going to trade those in for that big stone token, the large stone token. So you can see I'm catching up in a way to Onatsu, but we'll see what happens. So that was my turn. That was me scoring and everything. So Onatsu is now going to get these tiles in her garden. So what do we have? We have one without a torii that has the fountain and the lotus. So where do we want to put that? I would like to put that under the fountain area. And yes, she is getting dangerously close to collecting 10 points, which I should say flips over. Each of these 5s flips to 10s. We'll see. All right. I got it under control. And then she has this one, which, yes, it's a blue torii. She's going to take 2 of my tokens, but that's okay. I'm all right. I'm okay with that. It happens. And that has a lotus or fox statue. Ooh, decisions. I'll give her the fox, which this time I won't forget. She has 2 tokens there, so she'll get the fox, the 5 fox one. All right, so I still look like I'm well behind, but don't worry. I have a beautiful garden and a lot planned. I just know it. All right, next turn. So 3 more tiles. Let's take a look at what those are. Ooh, that one's a pretty one. They all are pretty, I should say. If you look at them, every tile, and this is horrible quality, and I apologize. Vincent's artwork here is just beautiful. There's all different types of features that you'll see out here. It's not just the landmark tokens, but you'll see there's like little water features and rock gardens. You can see like up here, it is so hard to see, but there's an actual rake in that garden. So it just kind of depicts really beautiful features that you'll find in a Japanese garden. And it kind of makes you feel like, oh, I did see that along the way. I got to enjoy visiting and seeing what those landmarks are. However, back to the gameplay. All right, so that is an interesting one to do. I'm looking at them because I noticed that two of them do not have any torii, and one has a double torii. My mind is made up. And we're going to see how this pans out. So Onatsu is going to get these two tiles in a second. And my garden is going to expand like this. And I feel like to keep this on camera a little bit, actually, we could kind of, we're rearranging the garden slightly. Oh my, there we go. Let's get that back in place. There we go. I've just placed this tile up here. So what does that mean for me? What it means for me is that I forgot to discard my two tokens from Onatsu. I didn't want to give them up. I'm going to give up a fox and a lotus. I had that decided before. Apparently in my mind, I want to keep them all. And I want to beat Onatsu today, but we'll see. We'll see how I'm doing. Okay. So you'll see that there's a lantern up here that is going to trace back along this nice path. And this lantern is actually not on the path. This is a different path. So we don't worry about that one. And we get back to the starting tile there. So what am I going to get there? First of all, get my lantern token, my little one here, because that's what we're scoring. Then let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue torii and 3 red torii. Kind of red, that's right. So for the 3 red torii, I'll get 3 more lantern tokens. Get those out here. And then I get what? 5 of everything. Oh, that's tricky. Because if I do 5, I could just get one of these 5 pointers immediately, which actually seems like a better idea. So why don't we do that? I am going to claim, I have the bridge and the stone, right? I will claim the fountain. So what I'm really doing here, just so it doesn't look like I'm cheating, I'm actually taking, we'll follow through properly. I'm taking 5 fountain tokens from those blue torii, and then immediately, because I have 5, whoop, trade them in, get that 5. Alrighty, so there we go. We're off screen a little bit. I apologize. And again, all right, so far, all right, we're doing all right here. So I have all those. That was my turn. Onatsu now gets to claim everything over here. So this tile, again, I love that rock garden with the rake right there. It's so nice and peaceful, this theme too, even though Onatsu, I always say, ah. Oh, I know. Careful. We're going to see what happens here because I know what I'm setting myself up for. Disaster. But, yep, Onatsu is going to get the bridge there. That's 2, so Onatsu is now going to get the 5 there. And what I'm being careful about here is if I give Onatsu another stone tile, she's going to get the 5-point stone, which also means she gets to claim 5 points because she has one of all of those 5-point large tokens. So it's a little I think I'm not spaced out correctly here, but it's right here. It's empty right now. So now, rather than just focusing on not giving her those torii tiles, I need to be careful about what I actually give her because she's set up for 10 pointers. All right. So I got to think through this next turn very carefully because the goal today is to beat Onatsu. She's beaten me many times. We're going to see again. So here's our next 3. We're going to flip those over and see where we are. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. I believe we're going to need to go to the vendor here because these are kind of flying off here. All right, there's 2 double Torii, which I don't like. There's a stone one, which I don't like, which is also that. Okay, so hold on. Let me examine these up close. Okay, so if she gets the fox, that's okay, but it's a double. Oof. She gets the fountain, she's going to get to a 10. Oof. And then she's going to get those. But if I take that, can I potentially get enough tokens to get somewhere? I don't need the stone, though. That's the tricky part. I do need the fox. Ooh, but then I have that. Okay. All right. We're going to see if this works here. I am going to say that I want to keep this one. And I'm going to say that I'm going to put this double Torii tile on the bottom. I'm hiring the vendor, by the way, which I should pay for. We're going to pay with a fox token because, again, vendor costs 1. I feel like I could make much better use of everybody else. This is a game that I play not optimally, and I know that, but I still have a great time. And we're going to see if Onatsu does that much better than me or if I can pull this from behind. All right, so I paid for the vendor. We're going to say, excuse me, vendor, can you take this away, please? Give me a different one. And what is it? Okay, all right. It has a stone and a lotus on it, but no Torii. So this is acceptable. It's acceptable. All right, so let's see. I don't want the stone. I think we're going to go here. And yes, we're kind of keeping the garden together here. So I'm placing this tile up here. But it has a stone. Oh, I should have hired the poet. But no, I can get... It's all right. It's okay. I got it. Because what I'm looking at here is, again, the shortest path. So this whole time I've been building this really long path and extending it, but you'll notice there's a stone right here. So I'm not going to be able to go all the way back to the beginning. I need to find the closest landmark token. And I did not use, so I used the vendor this turn to manage Onatsu. If I had hired the poet, that costs 3. The poet is pretty expensive, but very useful. He's over here. I'm just going to demonstrate an option that I could have done. I did not, but I could have hired the poet and said, excuse me, sir, can you go and write a verse about this? And what he would do is, and I don't know if it's easy to see here or not, I'll kind of move him around a little. He would stand on a landmark. And what that does is it actually hides that landmark. So he's busy. He's like, you don't need to stop here. I'm writing about it. I'm writing some beautiful poetry. Continue moving along through the garden. And so what that would do is if I had done that, I would actually get to trace all the way back to the starting tile because there's no other stone along the way. Unfortunately for me, the poet was not hired. He's still off in another land, another part of this garden, doing his thing. So we did not bring him in here. So I am only going to get to score. And let's take a look. So I immediately get to take 1 stone token. And then I get, let's see, let me just count. So I have 1, 2, 3. And remember, this stone is here. So although it's a little hard to see, we're traveling. So I can't actually travel through this other blue Torii. So I'm looking at 1 red Torii, which is another stone. And then I am looking at 1, 2, 3. 3 of the other ones. Let's see, we've already hit lanterns. Ooh, tricky. I think what I'm going to do with my 3 is I'm going to take 1 lantern and then 2 fox. And so what does that do for me there? That's 5 lantern tokens. Gets me the 5 pointer for the lantern. Here we go. I'm doing acceptable, I guess, at this point. So that was me scoring. We're good there. Back to Onatsu. So she's definitely going to claim. Ooh, all right, fine. We'll give her this one. This tile, so it has a fountain on it only. We know what column it's going in, and it has a red torii, which, interestingly enough, I have managed very well. This is the first time that we're actually going to use a red torii for Onatsu. So what does that look like? So this is going to go in the fountain column, which gets Onatsu to 4 there. So what happens? Her 5-point large token is now, boop, 10 points. Clever. I'm just going to put that on top of this. I think that's still within view. So what that also means is I can't actually put any other tiles in that fountain column, which is strategic in a way if I can pull it off. And note that if a tile has a fountain and another landmark on it, it would just have to go to that other landmark. I wouldn't be able to use that in every situation. But if we have a tile with just a fountain on it, I can say, ha, no, Onatsu, no. And I just said it's a red torii. So that gives Onatsu one of the 4-point character tokens. And these are used more in the multiplayer game where you're going to be collecting for using characters and everything. So that is going to go, just going to collect that. We'll put it up there on the 4-point side. They all start at 2 points, but for Onatsu, she gets to claim it at 4 points. Once again, not an easy opponent, but I will continue. And then this one has that stone and the lotus. Oh, the tricky part here is, do I want to just let her take the 5-point, which gets her another 5, or do I want to risk it? Ooh, and try to, I am going to risk it. We're going to put that in the lotus column, which gets her nothing right now, but she's very close to getting those 10-point tokens. And it's back to Ed's comment, careful, because you do have to be really careful about how you play this out. All right, so we managed everything there. Next turn, let's take a look there. 2, 3. And also the other thing that I'm thinking about with being careful about is I know what's on the bottom of the deck, and I know that there are some double torii tokens there. So we'll see how that pans out. And it wouldn't be that there would be extra tiles played, it's that there are torii tokens down there that Onatsu is going to get. All right, so what are we looking at here? Let's see if I can actually get these into view and take a look. So we are looking at torii everywhere. No double torii though. And you can see that I have an option on a couple of these of what landmark I'm going to be going after. So that could be interesting. All right, so now I have to think about this and say, okay, if I take the blue one, that stops her from stealing from me. All right. And once again, at the end of the game, this is where it kind of comes into play of, what do I do? Where do I go? What's the best move? So, let's see. I am just testing here because that is going to be there, and that's lotus, which I don't have. So that would get me 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's annoying. 4 lotus tokens that would get me, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of anything else because there's no lotus along that trail. Okay, that one could be good, but then it goes that way, and that's kind of annoying. All right, I have bridge tokens, so I don't really need that. And those two, all right, we're going to let Onatsu take this one because I really can't utilize the torii gate there. This way, I'd kind of have to loop around, potentially be able to. So all I'm thinking here is if I place it here, I could potentially loop around to keep going, but there's not a lot of tiles left, so it's more beneficial to me to do what? To keep, yeah, okay. We're going to be taking this one. Onatsu's going to steal 2 from me. Hold on, is this okay? So that's going to be a lotus for a 10. Ah, no, but those, okay. All right, I've got my move. It's here. I may have explained it, or I may have just been mumbling. But in any event, let's go through what I'm doing here. So this is my new tile I'm placing up here. I'm going to put it right here. And what that has is a bridge on it. And notice that there are, so we're going to start tracing it back and trying to find a bridge. And I do this very carefully because sometimes I fly through it and say, there's nothing else, right? But it does go all the way back to the starting tile. Sorry, I know the lag. So let's see what I'm going to get there. I will get one bridge token because this is bridges that we're working on here. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional red Torii, which means I got 5 more bridge tokens, which means I actually get to flip over to the 10-point side for bridges. All right, I'll take it. And then how many blue Torii? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So again, I'm going to kind of mark these off a little. We're going to definitely take 1 for the fox statue because that will get me to 5 and protect those. And that's one thing that I didn't mention before is that we want to be protecting some of these tokens from Onatsu, from stealing them from us with those blue Torii. And she has a blue Torii that she's going to collect here. So I want to try to protect as many of these as I possibly can. Okay. She's definitely, I mean, so I have 5 left because I'm buying or picking up 1 fox statue. What did I complete there? Bridges. So we can't do anything with bridges. I could get to another 10-pointer. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to also take 3 stone, which we'll see in a second how this all pans out and if it makes sense. And then that leaves me with, that's 4 out of 6. So I can take 2 more tokens. And I guess, she'll just steal them. So why don't I take, no, I can't take a bridge token. Sorry. Let's see. Because I really need 2 more. I guess we'll take 2. No, we'll take 2 lotus because this can kind of move me. Okay, so what have I done here? Why are you taking forever, Jessica? So we're going to trade in these 5 fox statues, the small tokens, to get a big one. It's worth 5 points there. I am going to trade in these 5 stone tokens to flip over my stone to the 10-point side. And then, you know, I'm getting close there. But so is Onatsu. All right. So I'm done. Let's go through Onatsu's turn, or part of this turn. So this one, I can either place as a bridge or a fox, and neither one of those, they're both at 2, so there's no benefit to either one. We'll put it over here, and then that also has a red Torii on it, so don't forget, that means Onatsu gets a 4-pointer, and who is that, the vendor? Oh, that's my friend. The vendor has been good to me so far. The tables may turn here at the end, though. And then she will get, it's all right, it's fine. This one has a lotus on it and a blue Torii. So there's a couple things going on here. Before I forget, the blue Torii means I lose 2 tokens. I'll lose 1 bridge token, and I realize these are off the screen, and 1 lotus token, which I was working on. And then it will go in the lotus column, which is right here. And that also gets her to 10. Okay, so far, we're still in good shape here. She hasn't actually claimed those extra 5 pointers. She might. All right, I'm excited though. Let's get on to the next turn here and keep it moving. All righty. Boop, boop, boop. All right, so these all have red Torii on them. And hey, Chris. Chris just said, love 100 Torii. I do too. I am having a blast here. I think I'm in a position to potentially beat Onatsu, but we will see. So first, what I'm looking at is, rather than looking at what I need right now, I need to look at what Onatsu is going to benefit from the most. So the fox statue actually won't cause any issues. The bridge one will. And so will this one. So now comes the option of, do I want to block her with the samurai? If I block her with the samurai, I give her these. That's the bridge, which is annoying. But I could do it that way. Strategic thinking here. I usually go quiet. And I just have to double check this. It's obvious from what I'm looking at. I am a notorious rules forgetter. Okay, so that would but that forces you to go there. That would force that there. Force that there. Because I'm correct. It's exactly what I thought it was. The samurai in this one, rather than blocking where I can place tiles, because that does absolutely nothing for me, I can actually pay to have the samurai go on a column. And that means Onatsu can't collect any tiles in that column this turn. But the interesting thing is that that does not... Oh, no, that would help me because you wouldn't be able to take that. You would take that. You'd still get that. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. And Chris said, we have not played this solo. Never go solo. Take a Wookiee. Very wise words, I have to say. I feel like a Wookiee could help me here. Maybe the fox is close there. All right. So if I hire the samurai, here we go. Thinking through it, right? If I hire the samurai and block the fox, she can't take that. She would take this. She'd get the bridge. Okay. She's going to get to 10. But can I get to 10 first? Is the question. Because I would be taking... Ooh, what would I be taking? Oh, I could take this. I could take this. Okay, hold on. Bridge does not help me, but... Just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What? No, if I let you take that, it's fine. That means you can't take that. Okay, hold on. Hold on. What if I... No, because that's there. Okay, that's close. Then I need the poet. Ooh. I'm thinking. I am thinking. No, because you really need to take those two so that I can block you. I need to make use of this. Must make use of this. And I know it's the bridge, but I can get to 5 first. Get to 5. I can get to 5. Okay, wait, hold on. All right, I got it. I think I got it, okay? So before I place this, I am hiring... No, wait, I can't do it because I need that token. I just realized. Oh, and she's 2 tokens, and I don't have them. See, this is the lovely strategy of me of saying, I can do this, right? And then realizing I can't pay for that because I can only pay with small tokens. You can't pay. Large tokens are for points at the end of the game. Ay, ay, ay. That would have been a great move, but if not, all right. So if I can't hire you, do I want to hire the vendor? Okay, hold on. Let's play this out, right? So I can still, if I don't hire you, you're still going to get that. Still going to get that, but I can get the 5. Okay. All right. It's fine. I've got it. I got my move. Because what I need to do is I need this bridge. And I have to be really careful about where I place it because I need to get... I need a lot. I wonder if it's actually worth it over here. So just bear with me here. I know this is... Also, I don't even know what I said. I'm reading the comments here. Chris said, sounds like Night at the Museum. My dad caught that subtle Office Space reference. I heard nothing about TPS report, says Chris. What did I even say? It's ingrained in my mind, apparently. Office Space is just clearly part of my life. I live on movie quotes. All right, I'm going to take 1 second here just to count, because that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's equidistant to each of these bridge. So what do I want to do? That's 1, 2, 3. That would be 1, 2. Oh, come on. Come on. I need just one more. Okay. All right. What if I don't use you? Then I would give up the 10 point, but I would get that. This is serious stuff. Oh, just a moment. Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking, just a moment. That, I will use that line all the time. However, apparently I'm lost in Office Space. This is a TPS report. This turn is a TPS report, isn't it? Just, what do I do? Okay, stones don't help me. Fox is there. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm going to do? After all that, oh no, I really need it though. But if I can get a unique one. All right, that's it. We're going for it. I'm going to hire the vendor again. He's my friend. And I have to decide what to drop. I'm going to drop this one because I can still use the bridge. I could still use you. All right, vendor, what you got for me? All right, it's got a red Torii on it. It's got a lantern and it's got a lotus. This is good. Okay, lantern, and the lotus. Is the lotus unique? Wait, yes. Do I have a lotus on this giant path? I don't. Okay, I got it. This is my turn. Alrighty, so we're gonna go here and score this. And yes, this is not gonna be the best turn for me in terms of putting Onatsu over there, but here we go. So we're gonna get one lotus token. Got this. Stuff on my table. One lotus token. All right, how many other ones? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red. Yes, which once again, I could get it. It's 5 small tokens to trade in immediately for a large token. I hope we all get that. I'm not just picking from the large tokens. I'm just saving myself time. And hold on. Does that mean that I get the 5 or no? Wait, hold on. One question for myself, which oddly enough, I feel like I should know this because there are the special tokens, right? But where's at least? Okay, at least. I'm losing it. It's the TPS reports. So now I have at least a 5-point token of all token types. This is mine. Give me that. I claim that. I still have my blue Torii on the way back, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So I have 6. And Chris is saying you have to do the counts, laugh as you count. 1, 2, 3. It is a good idea, but watch as I can't count anymore. Well, let's try it. You know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I do terrible impressions, but that helps me remember that there are indeed 6 there. So I can get anything but lotus. All right, and I can get 6. So what I'm going to do is once again, this is not me cheating. I'm going to get 5 fountain tokens, but immediately say there's 5 of those. Flip it over. And that's 10, which gets me this one for getting 10. There are 3 of 10, 3 10s first. And Chris says that was enjoyable. I am glad. I am always here to entertain and have fun with games. I had 6 though. That was only 5. So I will grab I just can't get a lotus. I don't think it matters, but we'll, let's get a fox. That's my part of that turn. Let's go back to Onatsu because we're not even, and I know, oh my, we're getting close. I usually try to go for only an hour. We're going to go a little long today, but that's fine as long as this camera and Wi-Fi cooperate. So first up, Onatsu is going to get this token, or tile, sorry, which has a fox on it and a red torii. So that will go here and gets a 4-point enclosure token. Because again, she's getting, the red means that she gets whatever's indicated at the top. And we're just keeping track of that there. That's only 3, so she hasn't gotten there. And then we have this one, which has a bridge only and a red torii. So that's going to go over here. Oh, there's a couple things I have to do here. So let's just make sure that, another vendor. Don't take those vendors. So she can get multiples. I'll just kind of offset those a little. That gets her to a 10, but that also means that she gets 3 points for that, which is fine. I got 5. I'm better. Good. We are good. Let's jump into the next turn. 3 more tiles. And I mean, I'm excited now, but the end of this. Oh. And Chris, thank you. Hope you have an amazing day too. Thanks for stopping by and take care. Let's see. So I'm looking at my next 3 tiles here. A double torii. Okay. All right. If I give her the stone one, that's going to go there. That's okay. Oh, wait, can these? Nope. It's a lotus. Lotus is there. Oh, that could be interesting. What if we did that? I think I have an interesting move with this one. I want to keep that one. And then can I manage these? That'll get you to a 10 there. That'll get you to a 5 there. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it and say that's what Onatsu is going to take. Let's go through my turn and see how we do. So what I have chosen for myself is this double torii tile with the lotus on it. If I put it over here, you might think, oh, wow, Jessica, that's amazing. You can do all that counting again and go. No, because the shortest path is to the very next tile. However, if I look at this, okay, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put it in here. You'll say, how does that work, Jessica? I'll show you in 1 second. So I'm going to place it there. Whoop. Let's keep our garden in order. Got a lotus here. It can't actually connect to anything down this way, nor this way. We're up. So we're going to go around, and let me just count. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's not too bad. We're going to actually do a little loop-de-loop around here. So I will show you how I'm doing that. So first of all, let's remember that it is a lotus that we're scoring here. And then I get to go through 1, 2, 3. Oh, that works. That's 3 red torii. I'll do it properly. I would take 3 lotus tokens. And that gets me, and I think that's off screen. Sorry about that. That is 5 total. Yes. Which means I can trade those in and flip over my 5 here to a 10. And then I also went through, that's not a lot, but what did I go through? I went through 1, 2 blue torii. We'll get 2 fox tokens. Kind of working on getting that up to another 10. Okay. All right. Feeling pretty good about this. So you will get, all right, so Onatsu's going to take this one, which has a stone and a red torii. So there's a few things going on here. Let's make sure that I do it right. For that red torii, I'm going to get samurai. Oh, sorry, that should be on the 4-point side. And then you also get the 5-pointer for the stone, which means you also claim this. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Let me just make sure I did that right. Yes. Okay. And then I have to put this one under the fox to get her another 10. to flip that 5 to a 10. Okay. Okay. All right. It's going to be a tight one, I think. We're going right to the end here. All righty. These are mine, and just for clarity's sake, I think these are going to stay on camera. I'm just going to move them over here so that we're not mixing anything up, but Onatsu is the one with the 3s. There's an imaginary line. Draw it in the sand. All right. Ooh, this is getting interesting here at the very end. Let's draw 3 more tiles. I just want to see there's 2 at the bottom. Okay. All right, what do we got? Oh, these are going to be tough to deal with. Surprise, they're all double Torii. So I know that I've put ones, there's other double Torii that I've put from the vendor underneath there. So there's no point in me hiring the vendor at this point. Is there somebody else that I could potentially use? And that's what I'm looking at, because I do have 3 of these little tokens, so I can hire anybody that I want to. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I think I have it. I'm thinking here. Sorry if I go quiet. I'm trying to get through this. Can't put it there. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna show you what I do in a second. It's not potentially an ideal move for me, but here we go. Watch what happens. Before I place my tile, I am going to pay 2 small tokens in order to hire the samurai and put her on the lantern column for Onatsu. And I'll show you what that actually does in a minute. I think is it easier if she's laying down? It might be, I think that's a little clearer, but she's on that column, and I'll show you what that does in a second. Here we go. This is my tile that I chose, which has a lot going on. There's a rock, there's a fox, and then there's a separate path that has a red and a blue Torii. All right, then. So the question is, do I want to score? Or do I want to build this last path so that I could potentially add to it? No. No. I'm going to score something here. Stones are... I don't have a lot of good options, actually. Interesting. Let's see. I'm just taking a look here because this is my second to last tile to place. So I have to think, does it make sense to get... those would be 1 of each. I mean, I like this garden here. It's looking good. But what makes the most sense? What if we extended and hope for the best? Because that would actually, as long as it's not a lotus or a bridge, that gets a little tricky. No. You make more sense. I'm going to set myself up. I'm not going to score anything right now and just plan for this last turn. Okay. So yes, I didn't get anything there. But as we will see in one moment, neither is Onatsu. All right. So what have I done here, right? So this first tile, you'll say, oh, Jessica, what are you doing? That's a lantern that's going to like get her to 10 points and get a double tile. What are you thinking? Oh, excuse me. The samurai is blocking the lantern column. So guess what? Onatsu can't even collect this tile. It's just out of the game. She gets no benefit from it. We're going to put it up there. It's like my little trophy column of Onatsu. You can't get this. And then, same thing. That samurai is there for the whole round. This one has 2 landmark icons on it. So we know that it can't go in the tower column. And then it's like, all right, it's going in the fountain column. You didn't do that great. Oh, just a moment. Corporate accounts payable again. Onatsu already has 4 tiles in that column, so she can't place this. And it also can't be placed in the lantern due to the samurai. That one also doesn't get scored. It's out. I played that well, I feel like. So So as a reminder, the samurai comes back off because the samurai is there for a very short period of time, but she did her job well. She helped. It was wonderful. And now we are in the very last turn here. So let's see. Oh, if I had scored it, I could have potentially played the geisha. All right, it's fine. All right, so here in the last turn, I only have 2 tiles to look at, which is a double torii with a fox, and then a red torii with a fox and a stone up on another path. So I am most likely, okay, it's fine. It's not going to hurt me if she takes any of those, but it's a fox and a stone, though. I have so many of those. It's not going to really help getting out there in terms of getting extra tokens. Maybe the fox actually might be, so I can kind of control it here and go up through there. But is that going to actually, I need be 1, 2, 3, 4 I could get. That could get me to a 10. And then 1, 2 of something else, which is not going to be worth anything. Is it worth it to do anything here? Nope. Okay, this is my turn. Here we go. Oh, yes. Get that drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody. All right, I'm going to put this right here. And what that is going to get me is we're scoring this fox. We have to find the closest one. So first of all, I get 1 fox token just for completing this route. And then if we look, I'll count and everything in a second, but we kind of trace back through this path. There's a fox here and a fox here. So it's the same distance because there's nothing going on through here. We kind of have to take this path. So since those are the same distance, I get to pick which one I want to go for, and I would like to go over here. So that's going to get me 1, 2, 3 more fox statues, which I'll show you what that looks like because I think I did that well. That's going to get us 5 small fox tokens, which immediately lets me flip over this one to 10 points. Awesome. And then I still get to get, what is there, 1, 2, there's 2 blue torii, so I can take 2 of anything else. I'll just take 2 lotus. At the end of the game, any small tokens are not going to be worth any points, so those are just kind of hanging out as, decor. So there we go. And then Onatsu gets this last tile, which has a stone and a fox on it. So the fox column is full. It can't go there. It will go in the stone column with a red torii. So she's going to take another samurai. I like how, once again, sorry. I should have had these flipped over. That's the 4-point side. There we go. Did I forget to take tokens for myself? It's the one thing that I sometimes forget. That's what I thought. I'm just checking because I would like to win and actually do it properly. But I get character. Did I not take character tokens as I should have? I know that you don't have the character achievement one in this. But how did I not? I should have. How have I not been taking character point markers? It's fine. It's fine. I did her. If I would have taken those, and why am I? It's a long day when you've counted out with the counts, laughter, and Office Space references, and you can't remember what you've done. If I had taken those, though, which I don't know why I didn't, I would have had the samurai, and the vendor would have been flipped over to the, where are you, vendor? Oh, the vendor. Oh, I missed. That's the gardener. You didn't take any vendor. Vendor I used twice, didn't use the poet, didn't use the geisha, didn't use the gardener. Okay. We'll see. I don't know why I can't remember that rule. Whew. All right. But guess what? We're at the end, so let's count up everything. I am going to count up Onatsu first. So she has 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 56, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 56 plus 24 is 80. All right, Onatsu has 80. Let me see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67, 71. Is that what I have? Is it 80 to 71? No. I think after all that, I think Onatsu did beat me, right? Because that's 24. That'd be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. She does. She has 80. And I believe, yep, I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67, 71. Oh, Natsu beat me. After all that, I still feel like that was a very close game, and hopefully that kind of shows you how difficult Onatsu is, how challenging, but how fun it is to kind of manage what she's getting and then building up the garden and kind of making sure that you're getting the right paths and everything. Skunked again. Yep. A Christmas Story reference. We live on quotes. Oh, that was close, though. I'm just thinking, did I use any other characters and forget to take their tokens? But no, I did not. I definitely did not. That I could have potentially, that might have made a little bit more of a difference if I'd utilized the characters some more, if I'd managed Onatsu a little bit. It was tricky, though. You can see I did try to kind of limit what she was getting all the time, but you have to kind of go with what the tiles offer, and it's tricky. But so far, this camera is still working. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. What I have promised, of course, ages ago, we're going to leave this in the background, but there's a little something called the 100 Torii Diverging Paths expansion that I wanted to give a sneak peek about. Again, this is by Scott Caputo, Eduardo Baraf, and Vincent Dutray. This is an upcoming expansion to what you see out here, the 100 Torii. I should note, this is still in development. This is a prototype copy, so everything is subject to change. But if you want to see what is involved in this, let's take a look. I have not organized my copy as well as I should have, so I apologize for that. But let's just get this out here, and let's just take a quick peek at what's in this lovely box. What we're going to see is that this is actually an expansion that has all different modules. There's 4 different ones, and they're all housed in their own little boxes, so you can kind of pick and choose which to play with. I like this. There's a lot of different ways to do expansions. Games sometimes have this, all the content, and you just add it in, mix it together, and it's just a lot. And you get to play with everything, and it changes the experience, and it's great. It's amazing. Other times you'll see ones that have kind of these modular expansions where you'll have a bunch of kind of smaller pieces of the puzzle. So you can add in, maybe I want to just play with this, or maybe I want to try this out, and kind of mix and match and find the best combination for you. So let me just, since I know my battery is definitely running out, and this, we just want to go through real quick, but what we'll see, I'm going to fly through a couple things. There's one that actually there's a new character that uses a die. So there's a gambler die. And you'll see, again, what this does is it adds kind of goes over, and it changes the different type of landmark there. We have a bunch of, if you're familiar with the mini expansions, there's a couple of new mini expansions. There's a set of starting tiles now, which have these golden arrows that you're going to lay out. So you'll randomize these 4, and it kind of expands out from that starting tile. And you might say, well, why is that a big deal? It's because this is all about using shrines. So you're going to have these enormous, beautiful shrine tiles. And these kind of play into how you get to use all these other new components. So there's cards, There's new elements to collect. I don't know if I can get this back in here. I should have organized this better to show it off. But again, I wanted this to be a sneak peek because there's some things that are subject to change and we don't want to, you know, we're kind of making sure that we get everything all set. But if we go through, real quick, in the rule book, there's all different, you know, rules for the different shrines. And that's what this is all about. I am horrible at pronunciation. I really need to check these, but there's the Fushimi Inari shrine. There is the Kitano shrine, the Nono Maya shrine, and the Toji Pagoda tile. And each of these has a corresponding solo board that goes with it so that Onatsu actually has all these different things that she can do as well. So you're not just adding this in and kind of managing it yourself. The whole solo side of this is also being expanded. So as challenging as Onatsu is now, even for me with the easy difficulty level, we have all these other ways that we're going to be able to go through that. We'll just kind of, let's just look at components because me talking and explaining doesn't always go through in it and talk about it all. But we'll have, see, we have all these different new cards. Here we go. The Wi-Fi doesn't want to cooperate. It's like, this is too much of an early sneak peek. I can't show this. But these are different goals that you would be picking up and completing, trying to complete these to earn extra points. And you'll notice at the bottom is Onatsu. I don't think I showed her portrait before. Why don't we, I mean, she's the winner of the hour. On the back of the solo board is a really nice, there she is. Onatsu the Pilgrim, solo opponent, she beat me. But I feel like that was really close. And then what else did we not show? And then there's another module, this one was really cool, where you have cards that are going up in different values. So you'll start off by picking up the 1 and then the 2, and then you continue going. The higher levels are actually worth points at the end of the game if you kind of hold off, because what you have to do is you're kind of collecting those and you use them all at once. So if you save them and don't use them for their abilities, you get higher and higher and can actually earn those points. Whereas if you want to use them all, they're used all at once, but you have different abilities that you can use. So that might be beneficial then. It kind of goes back to me thinking about, did I use the characters enough? Could I have possibly hired somebody else to make this garden even better? The gardener, for instance, might have been even more beneficial to me. What else? You'll see that there's new characters that we're going to see in here. 2 different new characters. The gambler, which I kind of went over again. Let me just get these back together. And actually, I think we mentioned them in the back here. And then the pilgrim. That's what I thought. So the pilgrim, and another thing with this rulebook for the expansion, just like with the base game, there's all different historical context in the back, and it froze again. My Wi-Fi just can't handle this. But we're working on this. We still don't have a definite date just because of how things are right now. But we'll definitely share more information about Diverging Paths as it's available. But again, it's kind of a mini. There's little mini expansions in here, if you will. And you're going to be playing each game with the shrines. Typically, you start off with using just one shrine, but you can kind of add and mix in different ones so that you have more options and you can kind of test out, well, how does this element work with the base game versus, wait, does it interact with this in a way that helps me or not? So that is the 100 Torii Diverging Paths. Again, it is still in development. Going really well, and we're excited about that. But that was the 100 Torii. A wonderful game to play solo. I know I took a very long time here with analyzing all of my turns and everything. For me, when I'm playing this without commentary, solo usually is somewhere in the 20 to 30 minute mark. Multiplayer is probably about 45 minutes, depending on your group, of course. But it's just a really fun game, really unique theme of just traveling through a Japanese garden, seeing all the landmarks. This is a game that I really enjoyed, actually reading all the historical context in the back, and it makes me want to learn more about Japanese culture and history. Again, there were cultural consultants on this, so it's very accurate and kind of depicts that historical aspect and kind of, to respect that and showcase it in all of its realness and realistic. So that was the 100 Torii. I think we have had a very long day today of Solo Sunday, but thank you to everybody who stopped by and enjoyed this. I will throw a comment in after the fact if you want to pick up the 100 Torii. It's available from Pencil First Games or your friendly local game store. And that is it for now. So I will be back again next month, hopefully without a laggy camera, so we can enjoy some more Pencil First games and see how those play solo. Again, thank you to everybody who stops by and sees this and leaves a comment. Again, if you have any questions or anything, just contact us at any point. Happy to help. And that is it. So enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks again for stopping by for Solo Sunday. Take care. Bye.